Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are, guys. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel. And today, because we have very heavy week when it comes to the earnings, we are going to check 2-3 charts actually related to the companies which are going to announce their earning reports later today. We are talking about the US companies, right? So it's not only because of the end of the month, not only because of the heavy calendar, but also because of the heavy earnings calendar. Very interesting week. And today we do have 3M, we do have Google, we do have Caterpillar, just to mention only few of them. Well, so that's what we are going to discuss. We are going to start with Caterpillar, but guys, just to be perfectly clear, right? We are going to discuss the companies based only what we have when it comes to the chart, all right? So we are discussing the chart, okay? Then of course you cannot blindly follow the chart. You have to check the actually earnings report and stuff like this to have the full picture, right? To have a full picture. Anyway, let's start with the Caterpillar. That's the weekly chart. We all are aware what happened, right? When the market moved strongly to the downside. Now, what is interesting here, that market was able to hold late 2015, beginning of 2016 pullback consolidation rally, right? So the first move towards into that demand zone been countered by the strong demand. Of course, this strong demand is based on this Fed stimulus, based on the government stimulus. So we've seen strong bounce back. Well, it's almost like the V formation, right? Now, looks like market has the problem with the retest after the breakdown, with the retest and move back above 200, right? So it was only one day we spent with the daily close above, and then there was a failure, all right? Now, the failure might base on that consolidation, all right? So overall, what happened? We had attempt to break higher from that consolidation. We failed, and we failed badly. What is going right now, right here, is a retest of the 50% of that consolidation. And in that case, I strongly encourage you to check educational videos. I'm discussing this stuff of this setup as well, all right? And we have the rejection going on right here, right now, okay? So basically, I'm bearish on Caterpillar. I see the possible, all right, supply right here, right now. And I'm very interesting where we are going to be post today's report, right? So in case of the spike higher, in case of the retest levels close to 126, 130, I may look for rejection, right? Where I do expect problems, I think move and close above 145 right? Could bring troubles, could be really challenge for the sellers. What's gonna be the target in that case? Well, the first target, of course, latest lows. So we are talking about the levels close to 80 and 70, 75. So taking into consideration plenty of the different free money based on the different stimulus packages, I would look for some kind of the upside manipulation around this supply we were discussing. And then finally, when everyone is going to understand that there is no V-shaped recovery when it comes to the economy, it could be V-shaped recovery when you're placing plenty of money, but well, it's not gonna, in my opinion, I may change that opinion if we are going to see, relaxing of this social distancing, relaxing of the lockdowns, and everything is back in full throttle when it comes to the economy. But it's not going to happen. We have to understand right here, right now, in my opinion only, of course. So looking to sell Caterpillar again, something between 126, 130. First target around 80, 75. I'm gonna be wrong, especially with two consecutive daily close above 145. All right, so that's the first thing. Second thing is a 3M, and here the situation looks a little bit different. Here the situation looks a little bit different when it comes to the 3M. All right, we have clear 5 waves to the downside, clearly, right? Clearly 5 waves to the downside. So probably 2 waves to the upside, that could be the case. So here and especially the 3M may have some contracts with the government. Well, here I'm not gonna be surprised to see a little bit higher levels. Of course, the thing is what kind of the earning report we are going to get, what kind of the numbers we are going to get, but how I see the things here, right? How I see the things here. If we are going to make the measure of the higher bounce, right? We already did it, right? But if we are going to add the consolidation here, and especially the bottom of that consolidation, this something looks like double bottom, and we are going to make a little bit of the pullback from here, right? So then I'm looking for a two upside wave. In that case, if we are going to hold 1-to-1, we might see the market wants to hit some stops, and taking into the consideration this consolidation, right, may want to test some levels close to 198.200. So here I would be very, very careful when it comes to the 3M. As long as we are above 140, 135 on a daily basis, we might see higher levels, higher towards even 190.200. Okay, let's have a look what we have here, because it's very interesting. Let's have a look what we have here on a daily chart. All right, and I think this 165, 170 short term, that's gonna be the challenge, right? That's where we might see some kind of the supply, and that's where we might see the pullback I've mentioned a second ago. So some kind of the price action like this with pullback, right? Maybe something looks like, you know, inverted head and shoulder, and from 135, 130 higher, right, towards 195, 200. So, well, of course, again, we are discussing the chart, mildly bullish here with the deeper pullback as a buying opportunity, right? And finally, that's what might influence Nasdaq especially, Google. There we go. If you noticed, hopefully you did. If you haven't, then that's the third chart and the only where we stay above 200 moving average here, all right? It's gonna be very, very interesting how the funk is going to develop during this earnings season. If we are going to take into the consideration yesterday Nasdaq price action, Nasdaq was weak. The good thing is, from the buyer's perspective, that we managed to get back above the latest weakness, right? So what I'm talking about is we had this huge move to the downside, right? We broke through that level and closed below, right? Previously we had a problem to get back above. Once we broke through, right, we are trying to hold. Now, what is key this week? Let me put the line here on that, taking into consideration closing prices. All right. So what's the key here? We have 2 consecutive weekly close above, all right, but we are right inside the supply. What I'm talking about? We are testing right here, right now, this supply. So it's quite interesting. It's gonna be very, very interesting where we are later today, all right? Because as you can see, previous week we're trying to get back lower. We hold the demand visible 2 weeks ago, all right? So we have like 1,180-ish as a possible demand, 1,300, 1,330 as a possible supply. So it's gonna be very interesting what kind of the number we are going to get, all right? If we are going to see upside break, attempt to closing the gap, testing the latest strength. In that case, we are talking about the levels close to 1,470, and that would be, well, I would like to see this type of the price action. I would like to short that rally, right? Or immediately today, we are going to break towards the end of the week, break through the demand, retest, and continue to retest again 200 daily moving average. Overall, we are staying above. So, you know, plenty of buyers around. It's still funk. So I'm not gonna be surprised that even if we are going to see post-earnings pullback, the next day when it comes to the cash market, we might see, you know, some kind of the recovery. So it's gonna be very, very interesting. We are going to get back to check what happened on those 3 charts post earnings. For now, that's it, guys. Don't be trapped. Don't be trapped. All right, be careful. Higher volatility, lower exposure. That's how it works for now. It was my pleasure to make this pre-earnings update for you when it comes to the Caterpillar, 3M, and Google. Have a great US session and see you around. Take care and goodbye, guys.